Linder-Leighton Pacific region, and I train out of Line Mode Performance Centre, or CrossFit Line Mode. I'd heard about CrossFit, like I wanted to go into the Special Forces when I was younger, like 17, 18, and I'd heard about CrossFit when I was going through that process, but just as I was going through it, people said, oh, you should do CrossFit if you want to go into the Special Forces. And I was like, whatever, don't talk to me. And because I had no idea what it was. Then a few years later, I was training all my time and effort into surf lifesaving, and I was getting put onto a development squad for the 2016 Olympics for K1 paddling. And I still hadn't heard about CrossFit, and then I remember sitting there, and I think it was 2012 Games, watching it on ESPN. And I watched that and then decided that was what I wanted to do. And so I went and Googled the closest affiliate to me and joined up with the intention of competing. Yeah, 2012, 22, when I first got introduced into CrossFit. I turned 28 later this year, so 5 years or so I've been in CrossFit. And like I said earlier, when I got injured, so I came into the sport and I picked it up really quickly, especially the weightlifting side of things. So back in 2013, I was already snatching 130 kilos, so I picked it up really quick and I got attention really quickly. So I got a bunch of sponsors. So I signed with ProGenX and stuff like that, which were, at the time, they were massive. And I fell into my own hype. So I thought I was going to come in and just have the Rich Froning story, right? Go to the games, win the first year or second year, and I fully believed it. And then I went to regionals, and my first year, after a couple of months of training, I came 15th, which was pretty good. Next year I came back and bombed out the first event, which was the hang snatch event. The following year, I won the Open in my region, the Pacific region. It was in a contending spot until the last workout, and then stuffed up in the last workout and missed out. And then I got injured 2016. And that's when really I had to have a look at myself, and because you're injured, right? There was nothing I could do about it. And at that stage, I knew I was injured, but I could do a lot of things. So there was a lot of training that I could do, and it built this disbelief, or this feedback loop that maybe you weren't that injured that you couldn't have gone. Maybe you just didn't want it. And it's not the case, because I couldn't hang from a bar. I couldn't overhead squat a bar. But I'm a very internal person, and you build this feedback loop well, maybe you're not good enough to get back. You don't like training as much as you used to like training. You're older now, you don't have that momentum anymore. Sponsors are dropping off, all that sort of stuff. So I went through that, when I won that, I had the hype of a lot of people talking about me I was going to come through and be a really good CrossFitter really quickly, and then I bombed out, and then I won the Open. It was sort of back again the next year, and then I missed it, and then I got injured. And so I went through that wave of a lot of interest over a couple of years, and then nothing at all, and I fell completely out of the scene, and I removed myself from the scene a lot too. And now my mindset has become, I compete in CrossFit because I'm trying to find my own limit. I get better all the time. I've never trained until I've thrown up or passed out. I've been close, so that shows me there's more. I get stronger, I get faster, I get better every year. So there's more there, so how far can I push that? My biggest challenge is just experience. Physically, I'm capable. Mentally, I'm capable. It's just the only advantage anyone else will have over me is if they've been and done it before. Even though at this point in time, no one knows anything, any workouts except there's a bike. If you've been once or twice, or you know the general flow, like, you know what I mean? Like checking in, you're sort of comfortable with the whole thing, even if it's unexpected, versus me coming over to the States for the first time and really having no idea, except for what you see. Apart from that, that's it. So my only challenge is just keeping myself mentally there and acknowledging that I'm on the same exact level as everyone else there. Just because it's your first year doesn't mean you're at a lower level than, say, the previous champion. Everyone's exactly the same, so you've got to have that exact same mentality and take that through the whole weekend. So that would be my challenge. And I think that anyone is going to compete to try and win. There's very little excitement because you're going to do a job, right? You're going to perform, you're trying to beat other people who have given probably just as much time and effort and as pain as much as you, and they're there to try and beat you. So it's exciting in a sense that you're going to compete and you're going to see, like, all the work that you've done. Is it good enough when someone's right next to you? Can they go faster than you, or can they not? Can you beat them? Can you not? That's exciting. But in terms of going to the CrossFit Games, that doesn't really mean anything to me, if that makes sense.